Dear students, today we shall discuss dosage compensation, Lyon's hypothesis and X inactivation. So, dosage compensation was basically beautifully explained by Lyon's hypothesis, and dosage compensation is done in some of the animals with X chromosome inactivation. So, it is also associated with the X inactivation. X means X chromosome. You have studied earlier that the chromosomal sex determination have either one sex heterozygous and other sex homozygous for sex chromosomes. Say for example, sometimes it is male which is heterozygous, that means it will produce two types of the gametes because it is having two types of the sex chromosomes, and sometimes it is female which is heterozygous. So, when male is heterozygous, female will be homozygous, and when female is heterozygous, then male will be homozygous. We have seen this condition in which male was heterozygous in human being, where male was having two different type of sex chromosome X and Y, whereas females were having two types of the same type of the both the sex chromosomes called X and X. Whereas in case of certain moths, it is the homozygous male and the heterozygous female designated by ZW and the ZZ. So, obviously, when the condition is homozygous, either you can say here in the females or you can say here among the males, because in the homozygous condition you are having two similar type of the homologous sex chromosomes. So, it means the individual is having two sets of identical genes present on the sex chromosome, whether the condition is XX or the ZZ. Whereas, you know, the male is heterozygous, it means if you look at the set of the genes present on the X chromosome, they are double in female and half in male. Similarly, if you look at here the two Z chromosomes, so here the sex is, the female sex is having half of the genes present on the Z, whereas male is having the double the amount. So, it means homozygous condition is always having the two sets of identical genes. So, if both the sets of genes are expressed in homozygous sex, there will be twice as much sex coded gene products in the zygotic sex. So, because heterozygotic is having the one set of genes and the homozygous is having two set of genes, it means if both the genes, both the chromosomes, genes are present on both the chromosomes express themselves, then one sex will having the double amount of the products coded by the gene, and one sex will be having half or the single amount of the products of the genes coded by the sex chromosomes. Say for example, XX will have double amount of gene coded product, whereas and the ZZ will have also double, whereas the XY and the ZW will have one set of sex chromosome, one set of genes present on the sex chromosome, and hence the product coded by them will also be present in one sex or will be in half the amount. Thus, this is true, though this is true in case of homozygosity of sex, chromosomes where birds, butterflies and moths. No, in the birds, butterfly and moths where female is heterozygous, this condition is true, that in the female where the female is heterozygous, it is true that the male is having every product of the genes coded by the Z chromosome in double amount, whereas the female is having less. But as far as the XY and the XX is concerned, that means where the male is heterozygous and the female is heterozygous, condition is not like that. In the human being and the Drosophila, it is not the double amount of the sex coded product or the genes coded by the X chromosome by the female, it is not double, they are similar in both the male and female. Now, if they are similar, it means that there is some sort of mechanism which is involved over there. Say for example, let us look at an example, glucose 6 phosphate dehydrogenase enzyme. Gene for this is present on the X chromosome, but when the amount of glucose 6 phosphate dehydrogenase and the product, this is the product which is coded by the gene, was estimated in the male cells and the female cells, the amount was similar, though X chromosome were present double in the female and single in the male. So, they were having equal amount of this enzyme in both the sexes. So, here it means that the gene coded by the sex chromosomes or the X chromosomes are having same amount of the product in the heterozygous condition also, in the homozygous condition also, or you can say in the hemizygous condition also, because if with respect to the X it is only one set, so it is hemizygous, it is two set, so it is homozygous. So, there must be a mechanism through which effective dosage of the genes of the two sexes is made equal or so. So, it means there is a mechanism that even the two X chromosomes are present in the female, but there is a mechanism that the dose of the genes and the product of the gene is not double in case of the female. So, there is a dosage compensation which has led to the equal quantity of the product, say for example, glucose 6 phosphate dehydrogenase in both male as well as females. This mechanism of bringing parity in the quantity of product of the X coded gene in both the sexes was termed dosage compensation by Muller in 1932. The dosage compensation is achieved by, so you have two options, either by hypoproduction, that means though the X chromosomes are present in double amount, in double quantity, but you inactivate one of the X chromosomes, so only one X chromosome will remain functional. So, it will be equivalent to the male which is already having only one X chromosome. So, it is the hypoproduction of the genes present on two X chromosome, or there may be hyperproduction. The other way is you double the production of this X chromosome in the male, then again the amount produced by the two X chromosome in the female will become equal to the amount produced by the genes present on the X chromosome in case of the males. So, this is hyperproduction. So, hypoproduction is achieved in case of the human being and the mammals, whereas hyperproduction is achieved in case of Drosophila. So, you are having both the mechanism for dosage compensation. In one of them, X chromosome is have the hyperactivity, it produce double the amount of product, whereas in other case it is the hypoactivity of one of the X chromosome in the females. So, let us look first of all X chromosome inactivation in mammals. In homozygous XX female individuals, one X chromosomes get condensed and inactivated. So, what happens? You are having two types of the two X chromosome in female, but one X chromosome is not functional. It is condensed and inactivated. this inactivation is not permanent. It undergoes inactivation at some times, and then the inactivation is reversed in the germ cells, so that during the gamete formation, when the X chromosome will separate into two different gametes, that the eggs of the female, both the egg must receive active X chromosome, because when this X chromosome will fuse with the Y chromosome of the male, then both of the X chromosome must remain active, so that either of the gamete when fused with the male must produce a healthy fertile male. It must not have some abnormality due to inactivation of the one of the X chromosome, and in the female also. So, it means here that this inactivation of the one of the X chromosome among the two in the female is not permanent. It is reversed when the gametes are produced in the germ cells. So, this is called facultative heterochromatin. Whereas, you are having some part of the DNA which constitute the constitutive heterochromatin. Constitutive heterochromatin means the permanently inactive heterochromatin which never get reversed. This type of the DNA is present near the centromere of the chromosome, which always remain suppressed, which always remain in inactive condition. It is not reversed at all. So, this is the difference between facultative heterochromatin and the constitutive heterochromatin. This phenomenon of inactivation of one X chromosome was further confirmed by the studies of M.L. Barr, who found that the nuclear content of the male and the female are different. That is, the female is having a very darkly stained body present within the nucleus and the light stained body, whereas the male is having only the light stained body. This light stained body is also heterochromatin, the chromatin, the DNA, this is also DNA, but this is darkly stained because it is highly condensed and it is inactivated. So, basically this represents one of the inactivated X chromosome in females, because males are having only one X chromosome that is not inactivated. So, that is why dark body is not present in males nucleus. So, this body was called before the name of the scientist the Barr body, also called heterochromatin body, also called sex chromatin body. So, basically it is heterochromatinized X chromosome, that means darkly stained X chromosome which is showing dark body present in the nucleus. So, this is not present in case of the males. Then later Lyons, working on Barr bodies, formulated a hypothesis referred to as Lyons hypothesis, which states that the number of Barr bodies in a cell is one less than the number of X chromosome present. Say for example, in the female you are having 2 X chromosome, Barr body was 1. So, 2 minus 1 is equal to 1. Similarly, male was having 1 X chromosome. So, 1 minus 1 is equal to 0. So, it means no Barr body is present in case of the male. Female with only 1 X chromosome, say for example, Turner syndrome is having no Barr body, only 1 X chromosome is present, that too is in active condition. So, cells of males with 2 X chromosomes and 1 Y, which is the condition of the Klinefelter syndrome, have 1 Barr body, because you are having 2 X. So, 2 X minus 1 is equal to 1, and the abnormal females which are having the 3 X chromosomes will have the 2 Barr bodies. So, it means the number of Barr bodies in a cell is 1 less than the number of the X chromosome present. The inactivation of the X chromosome is a matter of chance. That means, when female form the gamete, so you are having the 2 eggs, each egg is carrying 1 X chromosome, and the male is forming the gamete, it will have X in one gamete and Y in other gamete. When X and X will fuse together to form the female offspring, So, 2 X will come together, 1 X coming from the father, coming from the sperm may be called the paternal X chromosome, and the X which was already present in the egg can be called the maternal X chromosome. So, which of the 2 X chromosome will undergo inactivation is a matter of chance. That means, either of the 2 can go anytime. So, but once any of the X chromosome, whether maternal or paternal, is inactivated, then after division of that cells, all the cells which will be produced will have the same X chromosome inactivated. Even within same body, some cells may have paternal chromosome inactivated and in other maternal. So, it is not uniform in whole of the body. Sometimes the inactivation of the chromosome, because it does not takes place right at the stage of the zygote formation, because it takes place after the division of the cell, and once it is taking place after the division of the zygote into many cells, then it is not uniform in all the cells. Sometimes some cells will inactivate the maternal chromosome and other will inactivate the paternal X chromosome. So, heterozygosity of the X linked allele of coat color will explain this phenomenon to you, that heterozygous condition means a condition in which both the allele and the X chromosome, homologous pair of the X chromosome will not be similar. So, mice heterozygous for coat color had a variegated phenotype. Variegated means mosaic phenotype. Mosaic phenotype means it will have randomly arranged patches of 2 color, because it is heterozygous. So, one may be the dominant gene, other may be the recessive gene on the X chromosome. So, otherwise in the heterozygous condition only one of them must be present, the dominant one must be present, but because among the 2 X chromosome, when the recessive gene is inactivated, okay, dominant gene of the X chromosome will show the coat color, and when in some of the cells of the body the X containing the dominant gene for the coat color will be inactivated, what will happen? The recessive will get the chance to express itself. As a result, the mice is showing the heterozygous mice for the X linked allele for coat color is showing variegated phenotype. That means, it is having patches of 2 different color on the body, unlike the homozygotes. Homozygotes, otherwise if say for example, both the X chromosome is having similar type of the gene allele, or say for example, in the male when only one X chromosome is present, again having only one type of allele, that is not showing this type of the randomly arranged patches. So, it will have either one type of color or other type of color, but in the heterozygous condition, if one is dominant, only one must be shown, but here you can see both the color are shown. And moreover, you must not confuse it with the chromosome with the alleles which are co-dominant. That means, if one X chromosome is having normal allele, other is having the mutant allele. So, that does not mean if both the alleles are mutant as well as normal or co-dominant, then both can express. But when the expression of both is co-dominant in a co-dominant position, then the pattern must be uniform. But here we have seen that even they are not having the uniform intermediate coat color. Some body is showing different type, some body is showing different type, whole of the body is not showing the intermediate uniform type of color, which can be result of the co-dominance of the alleles of the both X chromosome. So, this can be explained on the fact that in those cells where one type of the X chromosome carrying one type of allele is inactivated, other has got the chance to express, and when the other chromosome is inactivated, then the former one has got the chance to express itself. That is why there is not uniform pattern of the coat color all over the body, and there is not only a single color, also there are 2 colors. Similarly, you are having on the X chromosome gene which code for the glucose 6-phosphate dehydrogenase. It codes two types of the enzyme F and S. So, when heterozygous individuals, females were tested, in which one X chromosome was coding for the F type of glucose 6-phosphate dehydrogenase, other was coding for S type of glucose 6-phosphate dehydrogenase. When the cells of the body were screened, it was found that some of the cell is having F type of the glucose 6-phosphate dehydrogenase, other is having S type of glucose 6-phosphate dehydrogenase, because the inactivation of the X chromosome is merely by chance, either maternal or paternal can go inactivation. Then the inactivation takes place only in the X chromosome, not in autosomes, because autosomes are again having two similar type of the X chromosome, a similar type of the chromosomes like the two X chromosome of the females, but it is proven that autosomes do not show inactivation. When the gene for the coat color was located on the autosomes also, then it was seen that no variegated coat color, as we have studied in the previous case, was present. It means autosomes do not go inactivation. Inactivation takes place at any time during the life, any time during the development of the embryo. For example, in the human embryo, it takes place at the 16th day of the gestation. In mammals, usually it takes place in the early embryogenesis. Embryogenesis is the formation of embryo, and in mouse it takes place at the blastocyst formation. Moreover, inactivation is reversible, as I have already explained that if the X chromosome is inactivated, but in the germ cell it will be reversed, so that both the gametes formed by the female having the X chromosomes must have the active X chromosome in each gamete. Any segment of autosomes, if translocated on X chromosome, will also go inactivation. So, see the position effect. Autosomes are not normally inactivated, but when their position is changed because of the translocation on the X chromosome, then that translocated part present on the X chromosome will undergo inactivation, and once the inactivation of the part of the autosome present on the X chromosome will be there, then there will be a suppression of some of the genes which were earlier active in the autosomes. Then the second condition is hyperactivity of X chromosome in male Drosophila. The phenomenon of dosage compensation in Drosophila has been shown to be due to hyperactivity of one X chromosome in male. So, here again both male and female have equal dose of the products of the genes coded by the X chromosome, but it is not due to the inactivation of the one of the X chromosome from female, but it is due to the hyperactivity of the one X chromosome in the male, and this was explained by the Dr. A.S. Mukherjee of the Calcutta University. There is 100% increase in messenger RNA synthesis from X chromosome and its translocation in the males. So, it was found that in the messenger RNA of the male and the female were equal, but equal because there was a increase in the messenger RNA synthesis in the males. In mosaic individual, where with XX and X0 cells, like we have seen in the previous case in the Drosophila, where gynandromorph were produced. So, even few of the cells were having double X, few of them were having only one sex, but even then the product of the genes in all the cells were similar. While in mice, variegation was observed due to random inactivation of X chromosome in female, as we have discussed. In some cells it is inactivation of maternal, in other cells it is the inactivation of paternal, but no such variegation was observed in the female Drosophila, which has proven that the X chromosome of the female has not undergone inactivation. Mutant and wild type flies showed same intensity of eye color in males and females. The gene for the eye color is also present on the X chromosome in case of Drosophila. So, when the wild type is present and the mutant, when both were compared, because wild type will have both the chromosomes having the similar type of the genes, and the mutant was having only the single dose of the gene, one is dominant, other recessive, or one is normal, other is mutated. So, in both the conditions, the intensity of the eye color was not different among male and female, because female was having 2 X chromosome, male was having 1 X chromosome. But when male is having, say for example, normal, again it is equivalent to the normal of the female. When female is having the mutant X chromosome, again its activity is equivalent to the mutant activity of the females. Similarly, enzyme level of glucose 6-phosphate dehydrogenase was found to be similar in both the case of the female as well as the male. Female fly carrying deficiency for gene on one of the X chromosome had a lower gene activity than the male fly, although their gene content were similar. So, because say for example, if one of the female is having a deficiency of gene on one of the X chromosome, it means its other X chromosome will be normal and this chromosome is having deficiency. So, it means it is equivalent to the normal chromosome of the male, because male is having only 1 X chromosome. So, here again among the two, in the females only 1 X chromosome is normal. So, in this respect their gene contents are similar, but it is shown that the female is having lower gene activity, because both the chromosomes are active in the female normally. So, one chromosome is having deficiency of gene. So, activity is less in case of the female, whereas in the male it was hyperactivity of the 1 X chromosome, which is not present in the females, because females is already having the 2 X chromosome. So, the male were having the more activity of that very gene as compared to the females. In heterozygous individual, the level of gene activity can be found to be intermediate in females, as we have discussed in the previous case, suggesting that inactivation of X chromosome as suggested in mammal does not take place. So, heterozygous individual, the level of gene activity can be found to be intermediate. Why intermediate? Because normally both the X chromosomes are contributing, and when it is a heterozygous condition in the female, 1 X chromosome is actively contributing, other is mutant. So, it is again showing that the X chromosome in the females are not inactivated. If it was inactivation, then there would not be any problem, there would not be any deficiency in the product of the genes coded by the X chromosomes. Thanks. This is all about what is called the dosage compensation among the individual.